So I mentioned specialized insect herbivores. Lots of examples, again, with animals that have the plant name in their name. So the cotton boll weevil. This is a beetle known as a weevil that's herbivore of cotton plants. So this is a developing fruit of a cotton plant. This is one that's been infested by the weevil. Cotton is a crop in southern United States, and so this is one that can destroy crops as this insect goes out of control and destroys a whole bunch. So graph here of progress on the goal to eradicate southern United States of the boll weevil. One of the strategies is shown here. This is a pheromone trap, so you can like trick the animals to coming to somewhere. You can collect them by giving them a chemical they're really attracted to, like a pheromone here. Another one that's more local here, this is the emerald ash borer. I think I pointed out some of this to people on field trips. This is one that's just gotten really, really thorough damage to the ash trees in our area. We have different species of ash tree and cultivated and wild, and they've just all been just knocked out by this animal, which is in the larval stage, gets into the bark, the juicy living layer of a tree, and the larvae go through and just eat all through there, and basically destroying the connection, the living tissue between the roots and the leaves of the plant. And this kills the plant. And I don't see the date on this one. 2018. So there's a map of 2018. There's a portion of states that was sometimes being quarantined, and since that time, Wisconsin is entirely given over to the infestation, and the map is just getting bigger every year. So no signs of slowing for the old emerald ash borer. Another version of being specialized is a specialized feeding strategy, and I'll talk about a few of those here. One of those is called leaf mining, and I think I pointed out one of these on the videos way back when. It was one of the field trips, and I think I might have shown this to people in person. Leaf mining is a neat strategy where, again, larvae of insects, they get into the middle layer of a leaf. So inside of the upper epidermis and the lower epidermis is a lot of juicy tissue. Those are the cells that do photosynthesis. And if the plant's defense has to do with the cuticle or something about the epidermal cells, then once the insect is inside of that layer, then basically the cuticle defense is no longer defending, and the animal's just in there eating. Another advantage here is that an insect inside of a plant might be harder for a predator to get access to. So say you're a bird or something trying to get this insect in there, might be harder to get inside of the leaf in order to get the food that's in there. And one more interesting bit about these is the track shows you where the herbivore has been, the leaf miner. And a lot of times there is this like streak of basically it's poop, where this larval grub has gone through eating and pooping just nonstop. Sometimes you see the mine actually get bigger as you see evidence of the insect growing up. So leaf mining, here's some examples of mining insects. So this is the adult stage where they would be able to fly, and at their larval stage, that's when they would be doing the leaf mining. So a lot of these are, I think these are moths. So like a sort of caterpillar is doing the mining. This is a fly that has a larva that does leaf mining. You don't need to know anything about these. Certainly I don't know much about them, but if you are interested in insects or entomology, you might be a little more keen to recognize what these are. Another form of specialized herbivory is Gall Formation, and I tried to point some of these out in the field as well. A gall is basically a plant tumor that is induced by an insect. So the insect, I guess there's some that are induced by fungus as well. The gall is tissue that basically increases in size due to the what the adult insect puts in there. So it puts an egg in, and then also chemicals that cause this change to happen in the plant growth. So these are not what would be formed naturally in the course of life of these different plants, but sometimes they look like deceptively intentional. Like this one here, this is a gall on a willow. It looks like a little pine cone kind of thing. But that's produced only in response to the eggs that are laid in there. So what a gall does is it grows a lot of tissue, usually kind of a spherical tissue. Inside of there would be one or more eggs, and the larvae, the eggs hatched, and the larvae have food to eat because the plant has grown more tissue in that area. They have protection from the outside because they're disguised inside of plant material, and they could potentially also be protected against, say, the winter. So in this goldenrod example, there'd be a grub that was able to eat during the growing season of this plant. And then as we approach winter, this is fairly protected against the elements. So a nice little safe winter home that the adult can burrow out of in the spring. And there's a big variety of gall-forming insects. So again, a lot of variety. These are the ones I have on here. We've got a wasp. The ones that are midges and flies, these are in the dipteran group of insects, and then wasps. So flies and wasps, and then actually the insects, and then the galls that they form. And they get named for the things they make. So the honey locust pod gall midge, the goldenrod gall fly, the oak apple gall wasp. A little bit interesting name here, the oak apple. So oaks do not make apples, but they make, if they're stung by these gall insects, they make these spherical galls that kind of look like apples, I suppose. Don't eat them.